The moment I put on the headset, the real world disappeared. I wasn't in my small apartment anymore. I was standing on top of a glowing digital mountain, surrounded by colors so vivid they felt alive. Floating lights danced in the air, and far below, a city of virtual towers shimmered under an endless neon sky. This was World Tour VR, the most advanced virtual reality game ever made. A place where players could travel anywhere, meet anyone, and experience everything. My name is Alex, and this is the story of how a simple game became the greatest lesson of my life. Level 1: The beginning of adventure. When I first bought the headset, I only wanted one thing: escape. Real life had become routine: online classes, part-time jobs, endless scrolling. I needed something new, something thrilling. The moment I logged in, a calm voice greeted me. "Welcome, traveler. Choose your destination." The options were infinite. Tokyo at night, the Sahara Desert, the Great Barrier Reef, even Mars. Each world was designed with breathtaking detail. I chose Tokyo first. In seconds, I was walking down Shibuya Crossing, surrounded by digital people who looked incredibly real. Streetlights glowed, holographic ads floated overhead, and I could even smell the rain. "Wow," I whispered. "This feels more real than reality." A guide named Myra, an AI companion in the game, appeared beside me. She had gentle eyes, a bright voice, and endless patience. "Alex," she said, "you're about to begin your VR world tour, but remember, every journey teaches something, even in virtual worlds." I didn't understand what she meant then. I was too excited to explore. Level 2: The City of Challenges in the Second World. I traveled to New York City. My mission was to design a new skyscraper within the game. It wasn't just for fun. The game tested creativity and strategy. At first, it was easy. I placed digital glass panels, built glowing elevators, and added sky gardens. But as the tower grew higher, I made mistakes. The structure became unstable. My project collapsed. Literally. Frustrated, I shouted, "This is impossible." Mira appeared again. "Do you want to rebuild?" she asked calmly. I sighed. "I don't even know where to start." "Start small," she said. "Every masterpiece begins with one careful step." Her words sounded simple, but they carried truth. I rebuilt, this time meticulously, checking every angle and connection. It took hours, but I learned patience and the joy of creating something from nothing. When the tower finally reached the clouds, fireworks exploded in the sky. My score increased. A message flashed across the screen. "Achievement unlocked. Resilience." I smiled. The game wasn't just testing my skills, it was teaching me character. Level 3: Desert of Reflection. The next world was quiet. Too quiet. A golden desert stretched endlessly before me. The mission was unclear. No buildings, no enemies, no goals. Only silence. "Is this a glitch?" I asked. Mira appeared, walking beside me. No glitch, she said softly. Sometimes silence is the challenge. I didn't understand at first, but as I walked, the emptiness began to speak in its own way. I noticed how my thoughts became clearer, how my breathing slowed. For the first time in weeks, my mind felt serene. It reminded me that not every level in life is about speed or competition. Some are about reflection, about listening to yourself. When I reached the end of the desert, a single message appeared in the sand: achievement unlocked, inner calm. Level 4, the global arena. The next part of the tour took me to the VR Global Arena, where players from around the world competed in challenges, language games, puzzle solving, and storytelling quests. To my surprise, I was matched with players from different countries: a programmer from Germany, a student from Brazil, a teacher from Japan. We didn't speak the same native language, but the game had built-in translation. Soon, we were working together, building bridges across virtual islands. When one of us failed, the others encouraged. When someone succeeded, we all celebrated. That's when I realized something powerful. Even in a digital space, empathy and teamwork were real. The world might be virtual, but the feelings were not. During one round, our group built a massive city that glowed like crystal under the stars. When the challenge ended, we all took a screenshot together, our digital avatars smiling side by side. Achievement unlocked. Global connection. Level 5, the labyrinth of time after days of exploration. I reached the final level, a mysterious labyrinth floating in space. The walls shimmered like mirrors, showing reflections of my past choices. Each corner revealed moments from the earlier worlds: my frustration in New York, my peace in the desert, my laughter with friends. Then, a door appeared with a final message: the journey is complete when you understand what you've truly learned. I paused. I had explored breathtaking places and conquered challenges, but the real lesson wasn't about winning. It was about growth. Through the game, I had become more resilient, more creative, more aware of myself and others. The VR world had been a reflection, a mirror showing what I could become in real life. When I opened the final door, Mira appeared one last time. To Alex, she said, "What did you find on your tour?" I smiled. "I found myself, then your world tour is complete," she replied, fading into the light. Epilogue. Back to reality. When I removed the headset, the real world felt different. My apartment was still small, the city still noisy, but somehow I saw it with new eyes. I started noticing details I used to ignore: sunlight on the wall, the sound of rain, the smell of morning coffee. Life, I realized, was its own virtual world, complex, vivid, and waiting to be explored. I opened my laptop and wrote a blog post titled "My VR Game World Tour." I described each level, each lesson, and how the experience transformed me. People from around the world read it, commenting how it inspired them to see technology not as escape, but as a tool for learning, growth, and connection. The morning sun gleamed through the tall windows of a cozy co-working space in Bali. Ethan, a digital nomad, stretched his arms and stared at his glowing laptop screen. He had chosen this life for freedom to work anywhere, anytime. But today, his freedom came with a problem he hadn't expected. His Wi-Fi connection kept dropping. "Not again," he muttered, rubbing his eyes. The meeting with his biggest client was in less than 30 minutes, and his video calls had been unstable all week. He checked the router, reset the modem, and even tried connecting his phone as a hotspot. Nothing worked. "Technology gives us wings," Ethan said with a laugh, "but sometimes it forgets to charge the batteries." He quickly packed his laptop, slipped on his flip-flops, and ran down the street to a cafe famous among digital workers. The air smelled of roasted coffee beans and sea salt. Inside, people from around the world tapped away on keyboards, freelancers, programmers, writers, all chasing deadlines in paradise. Ethan ordered a cappuccino and found a corner seat. He connected to the cafe's Wi-Fi. Success. For a moment, relief washed over him. The connection was strong, the speed was fast, and his client's face appeared clearly on the screen. "Ethan. Good morning from London," said Grace, his client smiling through the video call. "Good afternoon from Bali," he replied, returning the smile. "I have the new design ready for your review." Grace leaned forward, impressed. "You've made great progress. But tell me, how's the digital nomad life treating you?" Ethan hesitated. "Honestly, it's amazing, but not always easy. The sunsets are beautiful, but the power cuts aren't." Grace laughed. "That's the price of freedom, I suppose." As they discussed details, the cafe's music grew louder, and Ethan struggled to focus. Then suddenly, his screen froze. The call disconnected. Again, his frustration boiled. No, not now. He tried reconnecting, but the network collapsed under too many users. All around him, other nomads sighed and complained. The cafe's router had given up. A test of resilience, Ethan took a deep breath. "Stay calm," he told himself. Panic wouldn't fix the problem. He remembered something his mentor once told him. A true professional doesn't wait for ideal conditions. He creates them. He packed his things once more and rented a scooter from the front desk. If the cafe failed, there was one more option, the new co-working hub near the cliffs, known for its strong satellite internet. The ride was exhilarating. The ocean wind brushed against his face as he drove past palm trees and small temples. When he finally reached the cliffside hub, he was welcomed by a serene view of turquoise waters. The place was quiet, modern, and calm, exactly what he needed. Ethan sat down, opened his laptop, and reconnected to the meeting. Grace was still online, waiting patiently. "You made it back," she said. "It had a small tech adventure," Ethan replied with a grin. "But the design's ready. Shall we continue?" They finished the meeting smoothly this time. Grace loved the presentation and extended their contract for 3 more months. After the call, Ethan leaned back in his chair, feeling a wave of accomplishment. He had faced the digital challenge and won. The nomad community later that evening, Ethan joined a small gathering of nomads at the beach. They sat around a bonfire, sharing stories about their travels and tech troubles. I once worked from a mountain village in Nepal, said Lara, a travel blogger. The internet was so weak. I had to upload my videos at midnight when everyone was asleep. Try coding in a camper van in the middle of the desert, laughed Amir, a software engineer. One sandstorm, and poof, laptop gone. Everyone laughed, including Ethan. He realized he wasn't alone in his struggles. Each nomad faced their own tech challenge, but they all shared something deeper: resilience. They adapted, improvised, and supported one another. As the fire crackled and the stars filled the sky, Ethan thought about what he had learned that day. The digital nomad life wasn't just about working from exotic places. It was about growth, discipline, and connection both online and offline. Lessons learned. The next morning, Ethan wrote a blog post titled "The Digital Nomad's Tech Challenge." He shared his experience, the lost connections, the frustration, the moments of doubt, and finally, the success. He wanted other travelers to know the truth behind the Instagram photos and hashtags. Technology can fail, he wrote, but your mindset must not. The key is not perfect Wi-Fi, it's perfect resilience. His post went viral within days. Nomads from different continents commented and shared their own stories. One person wrote, "Thank you. I thought I was the only one who struggled." Another said, "This made me rethink how I handle stress while working remotely." The responses inspired Ethan. He began organizing virtual meets to help others overcome the common challenges of remote work: unstable connections, isolation, burnout, and time zone fatigue. His idea grew into a small online community called Nomad Network Vintube. Professionals exchanged advice about portable routers, co-working spots, and productivity habits. But beyond technology, they shared encouragement and empathy. A journey of growth. Months later, Ethan was invited to speak at a digital conference in Singapore. Standing on stage in front of hundreds of remote workers, he began his talk with a simple statement. "I used to think freedom meant working from anywhere. Now I know it means being at peace wherever you work." He told the story of that chaotic day in Bali, the broken Wi-Fi, the scooter ride, and the lesson he learned. The audience listened attentively, nodding and smiling. Many saw themselves in his story. After the event, a young woman approached him. "I'm about to start my own remote journey," she said nervously, "but I'm scared of failing when things go wrong." Ethan smiled warmly. "Failure isn't the opposite of success," he said. "It's part of it. Every tech challenge is just another chance to grow." She thanked him and walked away with new confidence. A serene sunset later that evening, Ethan returned to the beach. He sat down with his laptop closed, watching the sun sink into the horizon. For once, he didn't need Wi-Fi or deadlines. Just peace. He reflected on how far he had come from a frustrated freelancer to a resilient, empathetic, and innovative leader in his community. Technology had once been his obstacle, but now it was his bridge to connection and purpose. As the waves whispered against the shore, Ethan whispered to himself, maybe the real connection isn't online, it's the one we build with ourselves. The sky turned from gold to purple. The day ended not with a struggle, but with serenity. The Digital Nomads Tech Challenge had become more than a story of lost Wi-Fi. It was a story of human adaptability, balance, and the pursuit of freedom in a digital world.